ló láyé táwa yìí sẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ dára púpọ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ ló láyé táwa tọ́ wa ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dẹni gíga ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dépò ọlá ẹ̀dàkúnyé ẹ̀yin òbí wa lẹ́bàá lówó kẹjọ kẹtọ́ wa ẹ̀dàkúnyé ẹ̀yin òbí wa lẹ́bàá lówó kẹjọ kẹtọ́ wa. Iṣẹ́ burúkú ni wọ́n ń ṣe tí wọ́n bá jalè wọ́n wá tún fọ́lé ẹ̀dàkúnyé ẹ̀yin òbí wa lẹ́bàá lówó kẹjọ kẹtọ́ wa. Iṣẹ́ burúkú ni wọ́n ń ṣe tí wọ́n bá jalè wọ́n wá tún fọ́lé ẹ̀dàkúnyé ẹ̀yin òbí wa lẹ́bàá lówó kẹjọ kẹtọ́ wa. ẹ̀dàkúnyé ẹ̀yin òbí wa lẹ́bàá lówó kẹjọ kẹtọ́ wa. láyé táwa yìí sẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ dára púpọ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ ló láyé táwa yìí sẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dẹni gíga ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dépò ọlá ẹ̀dàkúnyé ẹ̀yin òbí wa dẹ́bà lówó kẹjọ kẹtọ́ wa ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dẹni gíga ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dépò ọlá ẹ̀dàkúnyé ẹ̀yin òbí wa dẹ́bà lówó kẹjọ kẹtọ́ wa ẹ̀dàkúnyé ẹ̀yin òbí wa.
An optimist may see a light where there is none, but why must the pessimist always run to blow it out? With this call from René Descartes, I welcome you to another edition of this wonderful program on radio, Education Today. Education Today is a program that aims to call attention of the public to education matters as they affect the effective running of the educational system and the achievement of educational goals. This comes on air every Saturday on this station, Lights Radio. I am OLUBUNMI KAZEEM. Today is the World Teachers Day, October 5, and it is a day set aside to actually celebrate teachers. Coincidentally, actually, I'm the only one here today. My crew members are, very much unavailable, so it's going to be a solo run today. But come along with us. We have a whole lot of things, outlined for us, and we hope to actually do this together. So I believe that is something that we can actually do together. So thank you very much as we go along. So our goal on this program is to actually educate, orientate, inform, and entertain the society on educational matters, address issues affecting the educational system, influence public opinion, and drive effective educational policy directions to guide the formulators and implementers. For your comments, questions, and contributions, you can reach us on Facebook via www.facebook.com/lightsradio, www.facebook.com/lightsradio. Our X handle is @TheLightsRadio, Instagram Lights_radio. YouTube, we're also streaming live on YouTube, Lights Radio. You can also call or send a message also via SMS or WhatsApp on 0809-738-4000. I'll take that again, 0809-738-4000. We'll go on a quick break. When we return, the program continues. Please stay with us. All right, if you just joined in, you are listening to Education Today on Lights Radio. So right now we kick off with the news segment. And in the news, Nima is not here and Aisha is also not here. So, we just mentioned some of the items in the news. First, FD approves concurrent running of degree NC for colleges of education. If you understand the fact that colleges of education actually run NCA programs, that is Nigerian Certificate in Education program. And some of them are actually affiliated to universities for some who are trying to actually award degrees. So they are affiliated. So they are like satellite campuses for some of these universities that they are affiliated to. But now federal government is actually coming out, publicly now with like a kind of policy directive to say that yes, there is nothing wrong in this College of Education actually running dual programs like that. So running the NCE and also running degree programs. I actually, if we talk about, there are so many colleges of education today in Nigeria that are actually running such programs. In fact, a lot of those have actually even been upgraded to universities of education. Actually started on this mode. So I think that is very much very much correct. So the next item we have World Teachers, the FG affirms commitment to welfare of educators. Well, this is for me, it's a statement by the federal government trying to show that yes, we actually value teachers, but it's not just about what you say; it's actually about what you do. To a large extent, if you look at it, teachers in Nigeria are actually one of the worst recognized professions, or the one of the least respected professions and poorly treated professions that we have in Nigeria today. So it's not just about the federal government saying it. See, it's actually about doing it. So you don't need to tell people that you actually, value teachers, or actually that you're committed to their welfare. Being committed to the welfare of educators is not, just mere policy statement. It's actually about what you're doing. You don't need to say it. By the time you start doing it, people themselves will recognize the fact that yes, they're actually, very much, you are committed to their welfare. So they themselves will actually be, will testify to such commitment. So it's not about what you say, but about what you do. And just related to that, you see, ASUP issues 2-week ultimatum to federal government over unresolved demands. The Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics has actually given the federal government just 2 weeks to resolve lingering issues, else a nationwide strike would be declared by the Polytechnic. And you also remember that ASU has also given the federal government additional 14 days, making it 35 days. Now, initially, ASU gave a 21-day ultimatum for the federal government to actually resolve outstanding issues. Now it has extended by another 14 days. The implication of which, if the federal government fails to actually meet the demands of these tertiary institution lecturers, be it at the Polytechnic or at the college, or the universities, they will actually be shutting down our tertiary education system, the public tertiary education system in Nigeria. And that really speaks to the so-called commitment by the federal government to the welfare of educators. The reality is, it's just a lip service, and these people are actually poorly treated. Their welfare is nothing to write home about. Their working condition and so many other issues like that, which are, all these are part of what we actually want to discuss today on today's occasion of the World Teachers Day, which is what we want to do. So would like you to send in your comments and questions and contributions as far as this topic is concerned. So we'll go on a quick break. When we return, the program continues. Please stay with us. That's all we can take on the news for today. Right now, we'll take the Did You Know segment. Good afternoon and welcome to the Did You Know segment of education today, where we consider random ideas, thoughts, personalities, events, concepts, and celebrations that many people are unaware of. The objective is to broaden our horizon and increase our base knowledge of things around us beyond what is taught in schools and classes. I am OLUBUNMI KAZEEM, like I introduced earlier. Today, I want to take a look at Nigeria's amalgamation of 1914. That might not be news to many people, but there are so many young people of today, beyond just that day, they don't know anything about the amalgamation. So come along with us. On January 1, 1914, the British colonial powers amalgamated the southern and northern protectorates of Nigeria, giving birth to the modern-day Nigerian state. This historic event, orchestrated by Lord Frederick Lugard, the then Governor General of Nigeria, united over 250 ethnic groups with each distinct cultures, languages, and traditions. Prior to the amalgamation, Nigeria was divided into two separate entities. The Southern Protectorate, comprising the Niger Delta, Lagos, and the surrounding regions, and the Northern Protectorate, encompassing the Hausa Fulani-dominated territories. The British exploited these divisions to maintain control and facilitate economic exploitation. After the British government have consolidated their grip, they administered the territory from two ends, Lagos being the capital of the Southern Protectorate and Zungeru being the headquarters of the Northern Protectorate. However, towards the end of 1911, for their own administrative convenience, the British colonialists saw the need to administer the two territories as one, and Lugard, who had served as High Commissioner of the Northern Protectorate from 1900 to 1906 and was then stationed in the colony of Hong Kong as governor, was tipped as the man for the job. He was returned as governor of both the Southern and Northern Nigerian Protectorates in 1912 and was given the task to merge the entities into one. On arrival in Lagos, he went to work at once preparing all the legal documents, and in March 1913 returned to London to make his presentation to Whitehall. His proposals were accepted in September and he returned to Nigeria. In January 1914, the new government of Nigeria was so proclaimed alongside fitting ceremonials held simultaneously in Lagos and Zungeru, then the capital of Northern Region. The ceremonies in Lagos and Zungeru were to swear in the governor, Frederick Lugard, and his lieutenants, Charles Lindsay for the north and Alexander Boyle for the south. The lieutenant governors held sway in the regional capitals. To commemorate the event, a grand durbar was later in the year held in Kano, where for the first time northern emirs and chiefs were brought together, accompanied by a rich display of over 30,000 richly embroidered horses. Lugard later prepared a detailed report titled Amalgamation of Northern and Southern Nigeria and Administration from 1912 to 1919, which he submitted to the British Parliament. The British colonial government cited several reasons for the amalgamation, including 1. Economic efficiency by consolidating administrative costs and streamlining governance. 2. Strategic interests, which involves securing Nigeria's vital trade routes and natural resources. And the third being the spread of Western civilization that entails promoting Christianity, education, and modernization. It was claimed in some quarters that the 1914 amalgamation document of Nigeria was signed by the following personalities. We have the British representatives Lord Frederick Lugard as the Governor General of Nigeria, Sir Ernest Hawking, the Colonial Secretary, Sir James Wilson, Lieutenant Governor of the Southern Protectorate, Sir Charles Lindsay Temple, Lieutenant Governor of the Northern Protectorate, and the Nigerian representatives comprising traditional rulers. For the Southern Protectorate, we have Oba Ovonraben Ogbaisi of the Benin Empire, King Dosumu of Lagos, Oba Ilewi of Abeokuta, the Egba Kingdom. And for the Northern Protectorate, we had Sultan Muhammad Atahiru I of the Sokoto Caliphate, Emir of Kano Abbas, Emir of Zaria Hassan, and Emir of Bauchi Yakubu. Other signatories were Sir Ralph Moore, the High Commissioner of the Southern Protectorate, Captain C.H. Tompkinson, resident of the Northern Protectorate, and J.S. Hayford, the Colonial Administrator. The signing of the amalgamation document was not a consensus among Nigerian traditional rulers, it was said. It is believed that some rulers like Oba Ovonramen Ogbaisi of Benin were coerced or deceived into signing the document. The amalgamation had far-reaching consequences on the peoples of Nigeria. These include: 1. Cultural clashes arising from the forcing of diverse ethnic groups to coexist, often leading to tensions. We also have economic disparities and development, occasioned by perpetuating a regional inequality and dependence on colonial powers. We also have political instability as a result of sowing seeds for future conflicts and power struggles. Artificial nationhood that entails creating a nation state without organic unity. Ethnic tensions by fueling competition and conflict among the ethnic groups, as well as cultural erasure brought about by the suppression of indigenous cultures and the promotion of Western values. The 1914 amalgamation was a colonial imposition that forever altered Nigeria's trajectory. While it brought some administrative efficiency, it also sowed seeds of discord and underdevelopment. As Nigeria continues to navigate its complex identity and challenges, understanding the historical context of its birth is crucial for building a more inclusive and equitable future. Now you know about Nigeria's amalgamation. That's it on the Did You Know segment for this week. I remain OLUBUNMI. KAZEEM Education Today continues shortly. Please stay with us.
Ẹ̀kọ́ ló láyé táwa yìí sẹ́, ẹ̀kọ́ dára púpọ̀, ẹ̀kọ́ ló láyé táwa yìí sẹ́, ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dẹni gíga, ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dépò ọlá, ẹ dákun yé ẹ̀yin òbí wa, lẹ́bàá lówó kẹjọ kẹtọ́ wa, ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dẹni gíga, ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dépò ọlá, ẹ dákun yé ẹ̀yin òbí wa, lẹ́bàá lówó kẹjọ kẹtọ́ wa.
Alright, that was the Did You Know segment on Nigeria's amalgamation of 1914. So right now we'll take the International Days segment. And on the International Days segment today, we will be considering the World Teachers Day 2024. The World Teachers Day is commemorated every 5th October of the year. World Teachers Day is held annually on this day to celebrate all teachers around the globe. It commemorates the anniversary of the adoption of the 1966 ILO/UNESCO recommendation concerning the status of teachers, which sets benchmarks regarding the rights and responsibilities of teachers and standards for their initial preparation and further education, recruitment, employment, and teaching and learning conditions. The recommendation concerning the status of higher education teaching personnel was adopted in 1997 to complement the 1966 recommendation by covering teaching personnel in higher education. World Teachers Day has been celebrated since 1994. It is a day to celebrate how teachers are transforming education and to also reflect on the support they need to fully deploy their talent and vocation and to rethink the way ahead for the profession globally. World Teachers Day is co-convened in partnership with the International Labour Organization ILO, UNICEF, and Education International EI. To celebrate World Teachers Day, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, and EI, Education International, mount a campaign each year to help give the world a better understanding of teachers and the role they play in the development of students and society. They partner with the private sector, such as media organizations, to achieve this purpose. The campaign focuses on different themes for every year. More than 100 countries commemorate World Teachers Day and each hold its own celebrations, such as the case of India, which has been commemorating National Teachers Day every 5th September. In Australia, as the day usually falls during school holidays, Australian states and territories celebrate on the last Friday of October each year instead. Teachers play a pivotal role in shaping the future by nurturing students and driving educational progress. However, to fully harness their potential, it's crucial that their voices are heard and valued in the decision-making process that affects their profession. This year's World Teachers Day highlights the need to address the systemic challenges teachers face and to establish a more inclusive dialogue about their role in education. The 2024 celebration is themed Valuing Teacher Voices Towards a New Social Contract for Education. I'll take that again. Valuing Teacher Voices Towards a New Social Contract for Education. underscoring the urgency of calling for and attending to teachers' voices to address their challenges, but most importantly, to acknowledge and benefit from the experts' knowledge and input they bring to education. This global event, organized at UNESCO headquarters, emphasizes the importance of integrating teachers' perspectives into educational policies and fostering a supportive environment for their professional development. This theme responds to the significant challenges highlighted by the UN Secretary General's high-level panel on the teaching profession and the recent global report on teachers, including key new data on growing teacher shortage and declining working conditions. The day will feature an opening ceremony with high-level messages from UNESCO, ILO, UNICEF, and Education International. It will also include a keynote address on the necessity of a new social contract in education and a segment showcasing teachers' voices from the room and around the world, sharing their insights on improving policies and practices. Additionally, the UNESCO Hamdan Prize for Teacher Development will be awarded, celebrating outstanding contributions to teacher development. That's it on the International Day segment. I remain OLUBUNMI. KAZEEM Education Today continues. Please don't go anywhere.
Ẹ̀kọ́ ló láyé táwa yìí sẹ́, ẹ̀kọ́ dára púpọ̀. Ẹ̀kọ́ ló láyé táwa yìí sẹ́, ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dẹni gíga, ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dépò ọlá. Ẹ dákun yé ẹ̀yin òbí wa, tẹ́ bá lówó kẹjọ kẹtọ́ wa. Ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dẹni gíga, ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dépò ọlá. Ẹ dákun yé ẹ̀yin òbí wa, tẹ́ bá lówó kẹjọ kẹtọ́ wa. Ẹ dákun yé ẹ̀yin òbí wa, tẹ́ bá lówó kẹjọ kẹtọ́ wa. Ọmọ tí kò gbẹ́kọ́, ó dáni lójú pé yóò jìyà. Ọmọ tí kò gba ẹ̀kọ́, ó dáni lójú pé yóò jìyà. Iṣẹ́ burúkú ni wọ́n ń ṣe, tí wọ́n bá jalè wọ́n wá tún fọ́lé. Ẹ dákun yé ẹ̀yin òbí wa.
Alright, you are still on to Education Today on Light Radio. So if you've just joined in, you are watching Education Today. Right now we are moving into the discuss segment, and today we, being the World Teachers Day, 5th October every year is celebrated as the World Teachers Day. And today we are discussing Nigerian teachers driven by passion, failed by political elite, and the dysfunctional system. Again, Nigerian teachers driven by passion, failed by political elites, dysfunctional system. That's the story of Nigerian teachers. Today, being the World Teachers Day, we want to look at the challenges facing Nigerian teachers and how such can be properly addressed. As I'm the only one here, I want us to do this together. So you can be a part of the program by sending your comments and questions to 0809-738-4000, 0809-738-4000, or drop your comments via the live video feeds on Facebook and YouTube. Yes, on Facebook and YouTube, you can drop your comments there. So, looking at it, but before moving into the discourse proper, actually, our short quiz question for this week, for today, is, what is the theme of the 2024 World Teachers Day? What is the theme of the 2024 World Teachers Day? The theme of the 2024 World Teachers Day. So you can send your answer to the WhatsApp number 0809-738-4000, or you can send to our Facebook or YouTube page on our live feeds on Facebook and YouTube. So the first correct answer wins the prize. Yes, the first correct answer wins the prize. So what is the theme of the 2024 World Teachers Day? All right, so today, like I said, we are looking at Nigerian teachers driven by passion, failed by the political elites and the dysfunctional system. So, if you were to look at it, for me, I'm a teacher by training and by practice, and for me, I was inspired to actually become a teacher. There are so many factors that contributed to it. One of it is the fact that my parents, kudos to them and shout out to them. In fact, those are my first teachers, and I'm also using this occasion to congratulate and great and honor my parents who were my first teachers. They were actually trained and practicing teachers, so it's more like I met it. It's hereditary, passed on to me. They never actually influenced my decision to actually become a teacher, really. They didn't tell me that this is what you should go for, but it was something that came, coincidentally. I finished secondary school, and while just waiting, I had the opportunity of actually obtaining a form to a college of education, which is very, very close to me, and the rest is history. I gained admission, I finished the program, a college of education. I went to the university, I finished, and today I'm practicing as a teacher, actually. So that is for me, and the experience for me has been the good, the bad, the ugly. Although most of it actually has been very, very good. It's been very, very good for me in the sense that I don't think there's any other job that I could actually do that would give me the joy and happiness that I'm getting from this particular job. And I've got the best of respect I can ever dream of, including even those who are probably even older than me. But that's the value of knowledge, So you gain the respect, the commendation of people, especially those who are able to benefit immensely from your wealth of knowledge. So to my teachers, kudos to you. And I thank God I'm actually following your footsteps. My parents, thank you very much. I'm also following in your footsteps. So you are my role models as far as this profession is concerned. And but looking at it critically, the teaching profession has changed a lot over the years. Over the years in Nigeria, it has changed a lot. Because when we look at it critically, we were told those stories of how teachers were very much valued, respected in those days, that even parents would take their children and say, oh, go and live with master, go and live with, the teacher, because they understand that if you want the best of values, the best of, prestige, best of respect, it is teachers that actually command such values. They are invited to village meetings to actually address the people, to enlighten them. They are honored, they are respected, they are valued, they are cherished by the society. And they got the best of treatment, especially during the period of the colonial masters, down to the first republic. But over time, ever since the military incursion into our national life, that respect has started dwindling until today. It's no longer the way it used to be. In fact, we now have people that are even saying that, when you ask some of your students, and for me, it's actually very pathetic and disappointing at the same time, that I ask some of my students that, who amongst you want to be a teacher or want to be a lecturer? And you see some of them doing like this, never, God forbid, bad thing. And I'm like, so if we all come up with this attitude that, oh, no one wants to teach, if I ask them what's the reason, oh, teachers don't have money. That's the first thing that comes to mind. And at the same time, who respects teachers? That we even have house owners, landlords that would not want to even rent out their houses to teachers. That speaks volume, really. So it's something that over the years, the teaching profession has changed, and teachers no longer command the respect and value that they deserve or that they ought to command. And that's very unfortunate, to be candid. But it is what it is. We just have to move on. And when we talk about the challenges actually facing teachers today, the challenges are very numerous. And we hope that the government would actually get them this message, would listen, and will do the needful. Beyond, the lip service that actually paid to the welfare of teachers, we hope that the government will actually do something meaningful to really encourage our teachers, to motivate them and sustain the passion they have for this job. Because a lot of them, it is the passion that they have for this job that brought them in and is also sustaining them, not the money. But then, looking at the current economic situation in the country, passion alone might not be able to actually sustain anyone, because you have to survive. And that passion will die if you are finding it difficult to actually survive, to feed your family, to accommodate them, to shelter them, to clothe them, to send your own children to school. Then how well do you want such people to be motivated with what they are doing? So the challenges teachers face, first, is even the profession itself. We have the influx of so many people that are not professionals, who, because they are unable to get jobs, they find jobs that they want, they feel like, well, let's use teaching as a stepping stone. So these are cheaters and not teachers. And at the end of the day, they damage more than they build. When you pass on wrong messages, when you are teaching is a sacred profession. It's a sacred job, because you are dealing with lives, you are molding lives. You are preparing, you're nurturing the future of the society. So you cannot afford to make any mistake. Like one of my teachers of blessed memory, Professor Akonde, wrote in his book that if doctor buries his mistake, an engineer dies with his mistake, and the society perishes with the mistake of a teacher. Look at that. So, and we all want a better future for this country, and we are treating teachers as if they are non-entities, forgetting the fact that no nation can rise above the quality of its teachers. Now, as education, is the door to modernization, to civilization, to advancement, to the future, teachers hold the key to that door. So imagine that they decide to withhold the key. Automatically, we will not be able to have access to that civilization, that modernization, that future we all desire. So, as part of challenges, the profession itself is actually facing assault by those who are unprofessional, and those who even manage and superintend, on that profession. Go check. A lot of ministries, departments and agencies in education are actually being manned by those who are not professionals, who are not trained teachers. Go check many federal ministries of education. A lot of people, you have lawyers, doctors, politicians, bankers, and the likes, being brought as commissioners, as ministers of education, and what have you. And at the end of the day, they don't see it as probably a business, thing, or a political settlement with which they play politics with the lives of the people, with the lives of the teachers, with the lives of the students. And they continue to deceive themselves and tell lies to the people, all in the name of free education and so many other political, sloganeering. Okay. Then beyond that is, what kind of work, another challenge that teachers face, what kind of conditions, under what conditions do they work? What's the nature of school? What's the state of infrastructure, in the schools that we have, especially for the public sector of our educational system? Teachers work in an environment where they don't even have offices. Let's even forget that. The classes are the offices. Fine, no problem. Especially at the lower level. How about the higher level? Lecturers sharing offices or sitting at the departmental office? Classes are filled to the brim. You have students hanging by the window. Schools that don't have furniture. Teachers teaching students under the tree. Or in classes without roofs. In flooded classrooms. Simply because it is public education. Teachers teaching without instructional materials. that the school failed to provide. And at the end they say, oh, go and improvise. Yes, improvisation is part of the training of teachers, but not at the expense or at the detriment of these students. If we're not ready to run an educational system, let's just close down all the schools. That for us to continue to have half-baked people. So to us, we feel that we have given them education, and to the outside world, they don't have anything because they are not fit to meet the needs and expectations of the society. And at the end of the day, we all come back to blame the teachers. Then beyond that, as a challenge, is also the welfare of teachers. That is even the most paramount. They are not properly remunerated. There are no fringe benefits that they used to command in the past. Is it a crime for a teacher to ride in a car? How many teachers have access to car loans? How many teachers have access to housing loans so that they can build their own homes? Now, today is World Teachers Day. How many of us can say, okay, I know where my teachers live and I can actually pay a visit to them, or we can actually organize ourselves, oh, probably a particular set or a particular class, say, oh, this particular, the best lecturer probably in our class or the best teacher for our set, we actually want to pay a visit and do something as a token of our, present something as a token of appreciation to our teacher. Do we know where they live? Because a lot of them cannot even sustain their accommodation. So they've left the city centers, they've probably gone back to the village. Because they cannot afford to build houses in the city. They cannot even afford to rent houses in the cities anymore. And we say we actually have teachers. So are we deceiving ourselves? Or we are really interested in the well-being, the welfare of our educators? Gone were the days where you have staff buses that will take teachers from their home to their schools. But we don't have that anymore. You don't have that. Look at, because of the economic conditions that, the political elite have thrown the whole of Nigeria into. Now, we had some states reducing the number of work days for civil servants from 5 days to 3 days because of the cost of transportation. Now, who has shown pity to teachers? Because you cannot afford to do that for schools. And unfortunately, these teachers will have to come Monday to Fridays with the high cost of transportation and no special allowance in that regard. I want them to give their best. How competitive is the take-home pay of teachers? In fact, their take-home pay cannot take them beyond the gates of their schools. It cannot take them home. And you want the teachers to be able to, ordinary school systems are meant to retain the best of their products that would serve as teachers for the future generation. But who can afford to do that now? Nobody. Who would want to do that now? Looking at the way you're treating their own teachers, they will never want such a kind of life for themselves. Where you will not even wish that for your enemy, not to talk of for your own self. But unfortunately, that is kind of condition teachers are meant to actually undergo. And unfortunately, you now have a situation where government is now saying we want to increase, the retirement age of teachers. Government has increased the retirement age of teachers from 60 to 65. You want them to die in service. So when will they ever enjoy their own benefits or whatever they've been able to acquire themselves? Because you know quite well that there is nothing in the gratuity or so-called pension that you give them after service. So you now want them to die in service. Where will the vigor, the energy, will it still be there when you have a teacher that's above 60? What will they be teaching at that time? How many teachers will still be in classroom at 60? They'll just be left in offices. To do what? So please, for me as a person, I think it's a disservice to teachers when you want to increase the service age from 30 service years, from 35 years to 40, or that the retirement age you increase it from 60 to 65. You want them to die in service. And at the end they will still complain of unemployment. So when will the young people ever get the chance to actually come into the system? When will they have the chance to learn from these people when they are still in class teaching? So instead of doing that, give them something meaningful that they can retire at 60 and they still have the energy to enjoy the fruit of their labor. Not that you punish them when they don't even have the energy to climb the stairs or to walk down to school, when they ought to be relaxing in their homes. So for me, it's important that we take note of this. We need to improve their conditions of service, their conditions of work, their remuneration, their benefits, their motivation, the financial incentives, and the non-financial incentives. Well, kudos to Lagos State. At least in Lagos, they still have the award system. So some NGOs that still have this Teacher of the Year award and the likes like that. But more people really need to come in, especially for NGOs. Now, I need to say this because talking about the welfare of teachers, many NGOs concentrate on fixing schools and probably provide, the well-being of the students. Hardly does anyone pay attention to the teachers. Teachers will prepare students for competitions. They go for the competitions, and most times it's only the students that get rewarded. How about the teachers that trained them, that provided the materials, that provided the questions and the answers needed to prepare such students for such competitions? They don't get to remember the teachers. How many people are thinking of awards for teachers beyond just what the government itself is doing? And at the end, even for the government, a lot of times you just say, a particular certificate, a plaque. Is that all that it is about, award of teachers? So I think we can do better for our teachers. There is a need for us to actually do better, so that more people who are conscientious, who are very much passionate about teaching, will come into the profession, and not those who are frustrated, who could not actually make headway in their desired profession and feel like, well, they will not continue to use teaching as a stepping stone. So these are some of the challenges that I know teachers are facing. Then beyond that is, even there are so many issues that have to do with teachers that as policies, government will just come up with such policies without really discussing, consulting the teachers themselves. And remember, the theme of this year's World Teachers Day, as we read under the International Day segment, has to do with giving voice to teachers. I don't want to say, because that's our quiz, short quiz for this week. So again, as a reminder, what is the theme of the 2024 World Teachers Day? We mentioned it earlier, so I don't want to repeat it so that I actually don't let the cat out of the bag. So we need to actually give voices to teachers because it's about them. And we cannot improve this educational system without improving the well-being of the teachers who actually manage the system. So for that reason, it's important, because a lot of them, the environment in which they work, they have inadequate resources, they have inadequate infrastructure. And apart from that, it's also the societal prestige that has vanished. It's a challenge. When people see that you disrespect teachers, when parents come in and come and assault teachers, insult teachers, some parents, they assault teachers verbally and physically. Those who are training your children, and you think such children will get any benefit out of the school system, continue to deceive yourself. It's not a curse, but it's the reality. Because there are some parents that will talk down on the teachers of their kids just because you think that you're paying something as school fees. Can you teach such children yourself? A lot of you have abdicated the responsibility, even some basic training that the children ought to have from home. You feel like it's that you teach them everything. After all, you have paid school fees. And when it's time for closing, you still say that, that should be an extension. You are the ones pushing for extension, and school owners themselves now have appropriated that into the work of the teachers without any extra pay. You extended closing hours from 2 o'clock till 4 p.m. And you still say that should be extra lesson just to keep your children busy because you are still attending to some of these businesses elsewhere. And you still have the effrontery to actually talk down on your teachers. Shame on those parents who do such. That's very wrong. We have the concept of in loco parentis. These teachers are actually parents of the situation. They are, parents of your children. When they get to school, they assume the status of parents. And they look after these children beyond just teaching them, in class. So they assist them to develop them cognitively, affectively, and in their skills as well. They help them to develop their knowledge, skills, and attitude, their disposition to life. They teach them everything. Some of these things that they are taught is the parents, when they get back, they say, no, it doesn't work here. This is not your school. When you get back to your school, you can be doing that with your teacher. But here, and so on like that. So these are some of the challenges teachers face. At the end of the day, it's like a vicious cycle. So we really need to look at that, because for a lot of them, they're only motivated by the passion they have for the job, and that's probably what keeps them going. And for me, I'll tell teachers out there, please, let your intrinsic motivation be higher than your extrinsic motivation. Find a way to motivate yourself. See, your happiness does not lie in any government, does not lie in any proprietor, does not lie in any school owner. So let your happiness be from within, and let it manifest in the success of your students. So don't let anyone, make you inferior or feel, dejected or rejected or unrecognized by what they say. Yes, we know this job is a thankless job. And for some people who say the reward of teachers is in heaven, why should they get to heaven before they even get their reward? Why can't they get their reward right from here? Some people that actually don't even believe in heaven. So for such people, so where do you think they should get their reward? So please, let us work on giving teachers their reward here on earth. Allow them voice, let them voice their opinion, let them express, their feelings, and let them contribute their quota as far as this education system is concerned, because it is about them. Remove the teachers, you don't have an educational system anymore. So it's not just about the politicians. So policymakers, these politicians, the political elites, you have failed teachers, and we really need, to do better. So for that reason, to a large extent, I believe that we also need to help ourselves, because part of the challenge they have is staying up to date with trends and practices in the world as far as the teaching profession is concerned. So we also need to help them to update their knowledge so that they don't just regurgitate or repeat the same thing that they learned when they were students. A teacher should not be repeating the same note that was used 20, 30 years ago for students of today, because the realities of today are quite different from the realities of yesterday. And for them to keep up with the pace of development, they also need capacity development, capacity building. And for this professional development, their employers really need to do a lot. There are some employers that would say that I cannot invest on teachers because at the end of the day, so they can take away the skills. Oh, so for the period they will stay with you, you want them not to be able to give their best to your students. You are the loser, man. So for government, for school owners, improve your teachers' capacity. Let them undergo professional development courses. If you don't train them, don't blame them. So let us assist teachers to improve on their skills and capacities so that they can give the best to the system, to the children, to the students that they're teaching. Because they are teaching students for the future, not for today. So we must be forward-looking, must be visionary in the way we approach, the professional development of teachers. And for that reason, government really needs to do a lot more. All right, so the program is Education Today, and we are discussing Nigerian teachers driven by passion, plagued, failed by the political elites and the dysfunctional system. All right, so a reminder of our quiz question is that what is the theme of this year's World Teachers Day? Send your comments to or your answer to 080973844000 or our Facebook or YouTube page. The first correct answer wins the prize. All right, so Looking at the future of teachers and the teaching profession, and the educational system generally, well, teachers have hope that it can still get better because they are optimists, and they are not never pessimists. They always have hope that the children can do better, the system can be better. So because they are the ones that actually give hope to the future, to our children, so they cannot afford to lose hope. If teachers begin to lose hope, then there is a problem for the whole society. And please, for stakeholders, do not allow our teachers to actually lose their hope. And for the specific changes we would like to see, I would like to say that let us improve in the welfare packages for teachers. Let us invest more in their capacity development. Let us improve their conditions of service and the conditions of work, the environment in which they work. Let us improve the facility, the infrastructure of the schools where teachers are meant to work, so that they can give their best to the system. There is a need for the society to actually bring back the lost, the glorious days where teachers are respected, where they are honored, where they are valued, they are respected. By the time you do this, students would also do the same. Then beyond that is the fact that the government really needs to do more in terms of the fringe benefits for teachers. There are so many packages that we can bring up to assist teachers to live meaningful life. When the profession is respected, when teachers are respected, you'll be able to attract the best of people. We'll be able to stem the brain drain. Look at what happened just last year. United Kingdom rolled out, a package for teachers all over the world. Many Nigerian teachers left the shores of this country to pick up that opportunity because they feel that those are societies that actually value teachers, not Nigeria. Many Nigerian teachers actually go to Finland. They learn about what is going on there. And the way such people are valued, that they are one of the best paid professions in such societies. Those are so-called advanced climes, saner climes. Why can't we make Nigeria a saner climb? Why can't we make Nigeria very sane? Nigeria is not a climb for insane people. So government, please don't make it insane for all of us. So it is important that we take note of that. So that at the end of the day, we have an educational system that would match up with the expectation of the society in terms of the knowledge, skills, and attitudes of teachers, in terms of the welfare of teachers, in terms of the prestige that teachers command in the society, that the students also give them, that parents give them, that other people, NGOs, other stakeholders, give them. So what advice? The advice I'll give to aspiring teachers is this, that you need to work on yourself. I will not say that you should not come into the teaching profession, but one thing you must know is don't come into teaching because of money. Because if you come in because of money, you are likely to be disappointed, especially if the status remains the way it is. So don't come in because of money. Come in because of the passion that you have for, inculcating knowledge into the future generation, disseminating information, disseminating knowledge to younger ones, preparing the future of the country. If that is the passion that you have, then please join us in this blessed profession, in this prophetic divine profession, because God himself is actually the first teacher. So we are actually doing the work of God by teaching people, giving them knowledge. So that is the way teachers should be adored. So if that is what you want, please come in, and do not be discouraged by probably what you see the current set of teachers experiencing. You see, tomorrow might be better. By the time you come in, things might have changed. Things might actually get better. So don't lose hope. So to our students, I would say that please, we need the best of you to actually replicate what the current teachers are doing. Imagine that teachers are, today's teachers don't have successors. You don't have anybody that will replace them. Then what would happen to the society? We all want to have children. We all want to give birth to children and want them to be educated. So who would educate them if there is no one that is ready to be a teacher? So it is important that we take note of this. And to our government, again, we will always come back to you because you are the ones in charge. Please do your job. Make the teaching profession an enviable profession that would compete with any other respected profession out there. Unfortunately, you were told by teachers Now, look at the way you're treating your teachers. And I would also say this for those teachers who probably try to cut corners. A lot of those people that cut corners, that you actually favored, probably because of some pecuniary benefits, are the ones that have become the ruling elites today. They are the ones, look at the way they are punishing you now. Because I believe that those who were properly taught by teachers and who merited the scores that they got and the certificate that they also acquired would know the value of teachers. They would know the value that of the knowledge that was bequeathed to them by their teachers. I will not treat such teachers with scorn, with disdain, unlike what we have today, because a lot of them felt that after all, they did not suffer. They didn't. A lot of the things, the certificates they even parade, are actually bought. They don't merit it. A lot of them don't merit it. So, and because some of us also didn't do the needful, look at where we have found ourselves today. So, let us not cut corners. There is no shortcut to success. And for these political elites, you must understand that this society, you cannot sustain this society without the teachers. Because it is those people that will fail to train, that will fail to teach yesterday, that are the ones that are actually making the society ungovernable for us. Look at Boko Haram, look at the bandits, look at the militants, look at the kidnappers. Those are the people that really don't know the value of education. So they are the ones that would attack schools, that will kidnap students, that will kidnap teachers, and will be demanding ransom. So, if you do the needful, then the products of the educational system will not attack the system that produced them. It is because we have failed to do the needful, to do the right things. That's why we are having it this way. And the way to solve the problem is to reposition the educational system and value teachers the more. It is on this note that I'll call it a wrap on the discourse segment for today. We'll go on a quick break, and when we return, we'll be closing the program with the words on the marble. Please stay with us. You're welcome to the Words on the Marble segment of education. Today we'll take a look at memorable quotes that are educational and inspirational to everyone. Today we have a quote from the Greek philosopher Aristotle. According to him, those who educate children well are more to be honored than parents. For the parents only gave life, and those teachers the art of living well. Those who educate children are more to be honored than parents, for these only gave life, those the art of living well. That's our word on the marble for today. We must know that teachers deserve to be honored always. While our parents gave us life, it is the teachers who taught us how to live our lives successfully. Remember and honor your teachers today and always. All right. So, yes, for our quiz question, we asked that what is the theme of the 2024 World Teachers Day? Well, the answer to that, I didn't see, no one responded to that. And all right, so the answer to that question is, the theme of the 2024 World Teachers Day is valuing teachers' voices towards a new social contract for education. Valuing teacher voices towards a new social contract for education. Right now, I would like to recognize Murtada Omolara Halima for her comment. Thank you. She says, keep up with the work, sir. Thank you very much for that. At the same time, I also like to appreciate Rahmat Olanike Akinloyi, Olamlik of the Kula Sulaiman, Ibrahim Nima Alaide, and Murtada Omolara Halima for being a part of today's program and for liking our Facebook page. So thank you very much. We appreciate you. You can also please share this video out to your friends, acquaintances on Facebook and on YouTube. All right. So this is just to inform you, ISIM listeners, that you can advertise your products and services and also showcase your events on our program Education Today. This you can do by calling the number 070-2507-4268. That is 070-2507-4268. 070-2507-4268. Thank you very much for joining us today. Let's know how you feel about today's program through our page on Facebook, www.facebook.com/education today. You can also send an email to educationmediaservices@gmail.com. Education Media Services is a single word @gmail.com. Many thanks to the crew of Education Today and the management of Lights Radio. The supervisor producer has been Faye, with assistance from Mr. Zikrola Sulaiman. Do join us same time next week on this station. I remain OLUBUNMI KAZEEM. See you next week and goodbye. Well, I would actually play this in honor of our teachers because it's World Teachers Day. Kudos to our teachers. Thank you very much for the thankless job that you are doing. You are honored today and you're honored as always. It's a blessing to have you, and we are the product of your effort. Thank you very, very much for what you are doing, and I'll leave you with this song by Zolani Mahola titled All Because of You, in honor of our teachers.
Words into sentences and into stories we could tell. The teacher who helped us to count, to divide, to carry over, to multiply, and who stayed behind until we understood. The one who stood on the fields in the rain. The one who took the time to see us and to learn our real names. To all the great teachers across this land, we thank you.
All the words in the world wouldn't tell you. All the money you never could spend it. You deserve all the praise in the world, 'cause it's all because of you that I can stand in the middle of me, and I can speak about all I believe in. All your patience, your warmth, understanding, it made me who I am. All because of you. I can make my dreams come true because of you. I am open to the world, all because of you. I am strong inside of me because of you. I can say I truly see you now. We have come to you so open-hearted, thanking you who was pushed us the hardest to be the best we can be. Look at me now, it's all because of you. Take these words that we offer in kindness, just say your name, it will always remind us to be curious and free and honest possibilities. All because of you. I can make my dreams come true because of you. I am open to the world, all because of you. I am strong inside of me because of you. I can say I truly see. So thankful that you never ever quit, even though so often it's such a thankless situation. Opening our minds to the world outside. You have been a guide, you could never ever be replaced. No, all because of you. I can make my dreams come true because of you. I am open to the world, all because of you. I'm strong inside of me because of you. I can say I truly see because of you. I can make my dreams come true because of you. I am open to the world, all because of you. can say I truly see.